our head. Medical issues like asthma, depression, and anxiety are just in our heads. People don't realize that for it to be in our heads, it means that we would want to have it, which is different because that's hypochondria, not asthma, not depression, and not anxiety. These are issues that are caused by traumatic episodes, heavy workloads, and even genetics. If it was all in our heads, then why do we have therapists and doctors? Saying asthma doesn't exist is like saying that anemia doesn't exist. While some people may argue that you can see side effects of anemia, there are a few signs of asthma attacks. You can see an asthma attack when it's happening, but people are so ignorant towards it that what may look like a simple panic attack is actually an asthma attack. And when someone is having a panic attack, some people think they just need a slap in the face or a paper bag to breathe into. But for asthmatics who are hyperventilating, not out of stress, but they are trying to get air into the narrowing of their airways, caused by muscle contraction from some stimuli. Examples like smoke, grass, perfume, running, jumping, swimming, or any other kind of physical labor can trigger an asthma attack. Some may wonder, how do our bodies react so drastically to little allergens floating in the air or swimming underwater for less than 5 meters? If it's not asthma, then what is it? It's not in my head when I'm having an asthma attack. I'm not thinking I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I cannot just sit back and take a deep breath and ride out what's causing my lungs to hurt, my airways to constrict. I can't breathe. I can't take a deep breath, so I'm suffocating on the inside. I have to get my medication. People don't understand that, and it's so frustrating. If you don't think it's possible to die from an asthma attack, studies have shown that approximately 250,000 people die from asthma every year. Seems ridiculous now not to believe this, right? My mother and I have been confronted by all different people asking my mother, who works in the Asthma and Education Center in the hospital, questions, and myself what it's like to have an asthma attack. So I explained their experience. Imagine having all the air sucked out of your lungs in one exhale, and to breathe it back in is like having your lungs already full, so you can't breathe in anymore, but you don't actually have any air left. It's painful, and you don't know what's happening until you're gasping, coughing, and choking, and even worse, you're panicking. When I try to describe it to people, they wonder how I survived them. And then there are some people who don't ask those questions, instead they assume they know everything, and say asthma doesn't exist. I think that hurts more than an asthma attack sometimes, and it's not like we can force people to understand it, because some are so uninformed about it. If I had been able to get through people's head, I'd probably say, if asthma didn't exist, why does my mother have a job? Why do my mother's bosses have jobs? The people who specialized in asthma education to be adjudicators, who are paid to see other kids with asthma and inform the parents of what their child is dealing with. Why would they get paid if asthma doesn't exist? Why have large companies spent millions of dollars creating medications to aid people struggling with asthma if that doesn't exist? It doesn't make sense, does it? Some people are so uninformed and uneducated, too ignorant to understand what it means to have asthma. Don't you think it should be explained through the school system to educate kids who don't have asthma? Don't you think they should know what it feels like and know what it means to have it? Shouldn't they know the sacrifice kids with asthma have to make? Since they have asthma, they have to take medication. They can't push themselves too hard or try certain sports because of their medical issues. While other kids get to run and play, these kids who have been diagnosed with asthma can't. When I was diagnosed with asthma, I was in grade 4. Until then, my parents didn't know and didn't understand why I wasn't running around, why I wasn't going outside and playing, why I didn't talk, and that was because I was too busy trying to breathe, and talking used too much of my air. Some people say that asthma doesn't exist. Someone say that asthma doesn't exist was so frustrating. I want people who struggle with asthma to be able to say, I have asthma, and have everyone around us know exactly what we mean and know how to handle it. And be the same with anyone else with any other disorder. It shouldn't just be asthmatics that have to suffer. Everybody should be treated with the same amount of concern with any kind of medical issue. Don't you think?